Okay, we got Artie Clear here. Artie Clear Show with Kevin Nash here, former wrestler. Kevin, how you doing today?
I'm good.
You look good too, brother.
Oh, thank you. As long as you look good, because I don't feel good, but as long as I look good, the body's holding up.
A friend of mine, Dan DeB Severin,
Yes?
good friend of mine, says hello to you, by the way.
So, Dan, I said hi. He's a good guy.
He's looking for his 101st victory, and he's going to retire. He said that 10 times already, but he hasn't retired yet.
No, we never do. There's no. We die. We don't retire.
Now, I was listening to your interview with ESPN, and it amazed me to all the collectibles that you have with the baseball cards and basketball cards, and that's just an amazing collection. How did you acquire that collection? How long did it take you to get that collection?
The first thing I ever collected in my life was in 1968. My brother and I collectively got the top set. And this, I mean, we did, this is before you could buy the sets. I mean, we went and paid 5 cents.
The wax packs.
Yeah, and got, and the only guy we didn't have was Cookie Rojas from the Phillies. He was the only guy we didn't have. And we ended up having to trade, a ton of guys to get them from a local. This guy named Zelkman was his name. That there was another collector. But that was our first set, and then as we got older, we got some Bowmans and other things, and then I was always like, my favorite thing in baseball is home run hit. Anybody that hits home runs. Like one of my favorite players was Dave Kingman.
King Kong.
Loved him. I mean, nobody could hit one in the ninth inning down 7 runs quite like him.
Maybe Mike Schmidt.
Exactly. So I started collecting anybody who had hit 500 home runs. The first one I got was Mantle. And then as years progressed, my wife got me for Christmas one year a Babe Ruth ball. And then for an anniversary, a Jimmy Fox ball. It was on an Eastern League baseball. And then the hardest of all of them, believe it or not, was Mel Ott.
Mel Ott, 511 home runs.
Yeah, Mel Ott was the hardest one to obtain. So, and then I've got friends with TriStar, so anytime anybody hits 500, they usually snag me one. When they join the club. So, yeah, that's I've got Gordie Howe puck. I've got Cassius Clay and Ali boxing gloves. I got Tyson's boxing gloves. And the only thing is, like anything else, I live in Florida where you don't have a basement, so I had to build basically a storage. I call it's a hurricane room is what it is, but it's just a hurricane room, so my memorabilia gets destroyed. If that's and that's basically all it is when you start collecting footballs and basketballs and shoes and all that, it's just all of a sudden it's just like it's a space consuming hobby.
Here's a little fact for you for your Jimmy Fox card. In 1933, he won the Triple Crown, and so did Chuck Klein win the Triple Crown in 1933. Both from Philadelphia. Never happened before, by the way.
Who was the last one to win the Triple Crown?
The last guy to win the Triple Crown would be Carl Yastrzemski,
yes.
And that was in '67. He hit 327 that year.
44 home runs?
44 home runs, yes, and 127 RBIs. And the last one to win in the National League was Ducky Medwick in 37.
Very good. You're on
so there's a gas house
guy.
guy.
On it.
I'm on it a little bit. Being a wrestler, a big-time wrestler, doing all your things, and it's a very athletic sport, by the way. You can get really hurt in that sport. Like, people think it's all fake. Well, some of it, but a lot of it's real.
It's all fake.
No, it's not all fake.
Everything is.
No, of course not. But that's besides the point. Your fondest memory out of wrestling, what was your favorite sporting event and your favorite game that you watched?
My favorite game, my favorite, probably the Tigers winning the '68 World Series is probably.
You can't say that. That's not fair.
Why?
Because that's what mine is. Mickey Loesch won 3 games that year. Danny McClain won 31.
I'm a Detroit boy. What am I going to say? We actually went to Detroit Metro Airport, and they landed it in a plane. And this is how long ago you can actually run on the runway. And we ran out to this plane that landed. They said it was the Tigers. Everybody ran out there to wish the Tigers. And the Tigers landed in Willow Run, and nobody was there to meet them. But some tourists got a couple thousand people to run up to him. So,
who was your favorite player on that team?
Unbelievably, it was Jim Northrup.
Wow, center fielder.
Number
Hit a
5.
grand slam in that year.
Yep.
In that World Series that year.
Yep.
Al Kaline in right field.
And
Gage Brown and Willie Horton.
Yeah, Willie Horton was another one. My brother's favorite was Bill Freehand.
Bill Freehand. Now, last question for you. I'll tell you a real sweet story, real quick.
Okay.
Detroit's playing the Yankees. Mickey Mantle's up for his last time at bat. Catcher goes out to Denny McLain and says, listen, let this guy go out right. Let's let him hit a home run. Catcher comes back and says to Mickey, it's a fastball. Lets the first one right down the pipe. He lets it go. He didn't believe him. The second one, he hit it out. The ball still isn't found. He's hit it so far. And Detroit and Bill Freehan no, Freehan wasn't the catcher that day, but Denny McLain served up that home run to Mick, and he 536 home run switch hitter, and that's how he went out. Detroit did it for him.
See, and McLean ended up being a good guy after all, right?
After all.
See?
Got traded to Atlanta, but still the last guy to win 30 games, 31 games, and he was 1-2 in that World Series, and Mickey was 3-0. Game 7, beat the Cardinals and Gibson. Great series.
It was a great series.
Thanks, Kevin, for everything, brother. You hell of an interview, and you know a tremendous about sports.